Can I just say one thing firstly? I love the name Eat, Sleep, Boxing, Repeat.
Welcome back to ESBR Boxing in partnership with sharpbetting.co.uk. Delighted to be joined by Welsh super lightweight contender Ben Crocker, ahead of his big fight taking place Friday the 4th of April at the famous York Hall. Ben, good to meet you. I know we've not spoken before. I know you've spoken to Dowie on numerous occasions, but yeah, me instead tonight. How are you? How are things?
I'm great, thanks. Yeah, feeling good. Yourself?
Yeah, can't complain, can't complain. Go right into this fight you've got coming up. Not far away now at all. Tiernan Bradley, who's undefeated, just like you. Um,
Yep.
do you know much about him? Had you heard of him when this fight was proposed to you?
Not to be honest, no. No, I never heard of him until I sort of done a little bit of research into him. I realised sort of. I remember like McGregor had a sparring partner years ago for the Mayweather fight, just some Irish lad. So when I'd done a little bit of looking into him, I realised it was him. But apart from that, I haven't really seen him or heard of him before.
Yeah, no, fair enough. And are you the sort of fighter who, when you've got your opponent, you start doing your own homework, your own research into their previous fights and track down what footage you can see of them, or do you just leave that down to your team?
To be fair, I don't look too much into them. I'll have a little look. I'll watch one or two fights on YouTube. I don't really like study them. I'll just, yeah, just sort of have. I've always been like, I just have a little look. And just it's always on the night anyway. When you get in there, you never know I was gonna go or I was gonna plan out. You might train for like a certain way they're gonna fight, and they'll come into the fight and they may just box completely different. So I never really study them too much. I just go for what they come in like on the night.
Yeah, no, brilliant. And in your opinion, obviously you've fought Papadopoulos in your last couple of fights, won both fights.
Yeah.
Um, is this are you expecting this to be another step up from your last couple of fights? Is it the same sort of level? Is it what level do you feel like Bradley's going to be on compared to Papadopoulos?
Um, I do think he's better than Stelios. As in like technically better. I think he's a better boxer. Stelios was a tough fight. He was a tough man. He was just come forward, boom, on me. So I do think Tina's going to be. He is going to be a tougher fight. I think I'm at the level now. Every fight you keep winning, every fight's just going to be harder and harder. But going on skill wise, yeah, I do believe he's going to be a tougher fight. But if his style is the box, it suits me. That's what I would like to do. That's what I prefer the box. I am a boxer, um, but I do think he is going to be a tougher fight than Stelios.
Yeah, no, interesting. Obviously this fight's at your call. I know you fought there once before. I just wanted to ask Ben, are you missing boxing in Wales, where you're from at all? I know most of your fights have been there, but your last couple of fights have been at the Brentford Centre in Essex. Do you miss doing that, or do you quite like fighting away from home?
It's a bit of an hard one that because obviously it's always nice to box home, but the opportunity and the venues are better boxing away. If you sort of know what I mean. Like boxing home, most of the shows are in like a big sort of like industrial warehouse. Whereas when we're boxing away, I don't know, it just seems like they're bigger shows, better shows. So obviously always nice to box home. Let's get this fight out of the way and then maybe get a home fight back in well, hopefully Swansea or at least Wales.
Yeah, and that kind of leads me nicely to kind of my next question. I did want to get your opinion on just the state of Welsh boxing, really. I feel like Joe Cordina, it feels like he's maybe a bit out in the cold at the moment. He
Yeah.
might not box in Wales again. Lauren Price, we're not sure where her next fight is going to be, but it's going to be, obviously, we're expecting it to possibly be an undisputed fight. Does it concern you that there aren't that the chance of there being kind of, a Sky show or a DAZN show in Wales could be quite limited for someone who potentially could be fighting on one of those cards?
Yeah, so I mean, the talent we got in Wales, we got enough talent to fill out a big arena. let's say the Principality Stadium. Imagine getting like someone like say me now, with a belt, Joe Godina, Lauren Price, Gavin Gwynn, get us all on one show in Wales. We have got the potential to set it out. So I'm not too sure why there isn't many shows on in Wales anymore. Even back when Anthony Joshua was world champion, they still put shows on in Wales. But I think it is something that needs to change just for us Welsh boxers, just to have that break and have a shot, really.
Yeah, no, look, it would be fantastic. I know, look, as you mentioned, some massive nights in Cardiff over the years featuring Joshua. It would be great to see it in the next year or so. And yeah, no, fingers crossed you're involved, Ben. Of course.
Yeah.
Just back to the fight, Ben. Where does this put you? You know, you've got the IBF European belts.
Yeah.
Does this fight kind of would you think it would give you some sort of a ranking with the IBF? Would it just lead you to a bigger fight? Where would winning this fight leave Ben Crocker?
So I'm actually ranked 15, I think, because I have a 15 or 20 in the IBF international rankings, having this belt. On BoxRec, coming under as UK, I think I'm in like the top 20. But winning this fight, I think, should push on to bigger titles. British Commonwealth title shot, maybe. And potentially getting signed by someone, maybe a big promoter sign me for so many fight deal. But yeah, definitely winning this fight will open doors to bigger fights, 100%, definitely. So all on this fight. I think I need to win this to push on to bigger things. Like I said, hopefully a British or Commonwealth title next.
Yeah, no, that'd be fantastic. Just a couple more from me, Ben. Obviously it's a fantastic division, isn't it? The super lightweight division is arguably, in terms of kind of excitement, it's arguably the best division in boxing. And I know it's a tough question, but who's the number one guy in that division for you? Obviously, Teofimo Lopez is still world champion. There's Arnold Barboza, Richardson Hitchens, Subriel Matias, Dalton Smith. Like there's loads of names here, and I feel bad kind of putting you on the spot here because it's quite an open question. But is there one name that really sticks out to you?
Who I think is the best in the weight?
Yeah.
For me, I've said it on a previous interview a few weeks back. For me, it's Dalton Smith. I really rate Dalton Smith. I think he's brilliant. He's a good boxer. He's a big puncher. He's entertaining to watch. Once he makes that breakthrough now on the world scene, which he's there, I think there's no beating him. For me, he's the best about.
Yeah, no, brilliant. Look, fingers crossed we see him fight for a world title this year.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, fingers crossed. All right, then. Just final question from me. Obviously, kind of what's probably going to be the biggest fight take place in the UK. In a month's time, Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn.
Yeah.
Where's your head at? I know Chris Eubank Jr. the slight favourite with the bookies, but a month out from the fight, do you have a prediction for us?
Chris Eubank and Conor Benn. I'm backing Chris Eubank. Yeah. I just think he's too big, too strong. He's done more in the sport than Conor Benn has. And I just can't see how Conor Benn can beat Chris Eubank. I just think he's too tough. He hits too hard. He's been in with bigger names. I see Eubank stopping him mid rounds. I say.
Fantastic, neck on the line. All right, Ben. Appreciate that. Appreciate your time. We'll catch up with you next week at York Hall. But yeah, if we don't speak beforehand, all the best in your fight, and we'll speak to you again very soon.
Brilliant. Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me on.